Okay, calling your applicants. Step 4. Congratulations, you are now ready to call your applicants. Set aside at least 2 hours per day to call your applicants. Ideally, this should be between 9 AM and 10 AM and between 2 PM and 3 PM. 9 AM to 10 AM because this should be the first thing you do before you pick up your paperwork or return voicemails or emails. Can I just say that once you pick up your paperwork, that's it for the rest of the day until closing time. It's paperwork, 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 because something else more important happens. Just put it aside, back of your mind, just for an hour at least in the morning, and call your applicants. Because if you don't, then in 2 weeks' time you will see no business coming in. And it's because you didn't do your call outs every day 2 weeks ago. And it's going to take you another 2 weeks to get some more deals in. And I know this from experience. So make sure you do your call outs every day. Okay? Calling your applicants is the most important thing in a estate agency. If you don't call your applicants, another agent will, and they will be the one building a friendship with your applicants. Approximately 90% of estate agents do not call their applicants. The applicants phone in from an advert, and the estate agent will reluctantly book in a viewing just for that property, no other properties. A good estate agent will try and show you some other properties as well. They will also qualify that person. Why do you like this property? What are you looking for in a property? Excellent, I think that property will be perfect for you then. However, can I just show you another property, a few properties before that? Show them a few properties under budget that are not fantastic. Couple, and then you show them this fantastic property that they saw on the website that they want to see. If you show them a couple beforehand that are not as good, the least favourite one first, in steps, it builds them up to something wonderful. So they get to this third property and that's the blow your mind, wow, this is it, I love it. But if you just go straight there, it's like, you know what, without foreplay. You need some excitement, okay? When you fall in love with a person, there's certain steps that are taken to get to that love, and that love lasts forever. The same with a house, okay? So you need these steps, and then you get to the house, and wow. You've seen a photo of this house before, you fell in love, but now you've seen it in real life. Wow, you're in love, and it will last forever. And even if someone else comes along, doesn't really like it, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. And that's just the way it is, okay? That's life. Approximately 90% of estate agents do not call their applicants. The applicants phone in from an advert and the estate agent will reluctantly book in a viewing, as I just said. Yeah, and the reason why they're reluctantly booking in a viewing is because they spend far too much time wording long emails when they could have just phoned the person and taken 2 minutes. Not just that, many estate agents get wrapped up in many things and do not provide their clients efficient service. If the estate agent stuck to the basics of simple steps I am giving you, then they will sell or let more houses. You will often hear a good estate agent say, let's get back to the basics. It's not rocket science. You just do the basic stuff and it works. Don't try and overcomplicate it. Okay. This estate agent will also have more sold or let boards around town, and therefore they will win more instructions because people will give them more properties if they see more sold and let boards around town. Which is why 10% of the agents that are proactive, or the 10% of agents that are proactive, have a huge market share. Okay, so be disciplined and call your applicants every day, first thing, as soon as you get in. Okay, you may leave many voicemails at this time, as people are busy at work, but you should get through to stay-at-home mums who are mostly the decision makers nowadays, and I know this from the last 10 years, and I think I've only met 2 stay-at-home dads out of about hundreds of people that I've worked with, and I think even in that situation the mum was still the decision maker, to be honest. Okay, so you will get through to stay-at-home mums, and then they're the best people to deal with anyway, which is good. And then obviously you deal with you know, like single fathers or single guys or single ladies after work time. So there are various times you can make your calls and get through to various different people. You should be doing viewings between 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. as this is a busy viewing time, and also between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. as people finish work after 4 p.m. This leaves some time between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. to call the people you couldn't get through to in the morning. The best way I feel is to call from a withheld number, and those you didn't get through to, call again later if you have time. But if you are fully booked with viewings that day, you can leave them a message. The reason why I state withheld number is because you don't want the applicant feeling they are being harassed by one company. Some people might not be able to answer their phone until after 6 p.m. Therefore, if you have no viewings, you should make phone calls to the applicants that you did not get through to up until 8 p.m. and call from a non-withheld number, just in case they're the type of person that does not like to answer withheld numbers. Make sure you leave an upbeat, happy voicemail. Make sure you are smiling when you're on the phone, because they can sense it. When you leave 3 voicemails, tell them if you don't hear back within 7 days, you'll assume they're no longer looking and you will no longer call them. Actually, I would probably say within 3 days, because 7 days they'll probably forget that. And also record a cheerful voicemail greeting to make them want to deal with you and tell their friends how nice you are. When doing your call out, start from A, finish at Z. Do not cherry pick. The next day, start from the middle of the alphabet or another letter, so that the A's don't constantly get called and everybody gets a call. Ideally every day, depending on how many applicants you have, but at least a couple of times a week. If you've spoken to your applicant before, start your conversation with, "Hi, it's Patrick from X Estate Agency. How are you?" Possibly some conversation. Then ask, "How is your property search going?" If it's a new applicant, you need to establish a rapport. You also need to break the ice. A good icebreaker is when you ask what they're looking for, how many bedrooms, etc., rather than ask if they have children or pets. You could say, do you have any 4-legged creatures or little people? Okay, did you get that? I'll say that again. Okay, if it's a new applicant and you need to establish a rapport, you also need to break the ice. A good icebreaker is when you ask what they're looking for, how many bedrooms, etc., rather than ask if they have children or pets. You could say, do you have any 4-legged creatures? Or do you have any little people? And it's exciting, it breaks the ice. Remember, they deal with lots of estate agents. You need to make yourself stand out. You should practice role play with a colleague or friend. Get your colleague, friend, to pretend to be a hard applicant and a soft applicant, then get them to be an applicant with specific needs, but they are not forthcoming with their needs, and various other applicants. So do lots of role playing. You should know your applicants better than they know themselves. You can also help them understand themselves by asking them questions. If they say, "That's a good question," then you know you are doing a good job. Okay, we're coming up to 10 minutes, which is the YouTube limit, so we're going to have to cut this video and do a step 4 part 2. Thank you.